certified, Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
I'm First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. Taking a live look right now at the 5 a.m. advisory here at 165 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds here for Hurricane Dorian. Moving to the west at 1 miles per hour. It's essentially stalling out right there, and this is what we've been forecasting for you, the all-important kind of slow down before it can make that turn back to the northwest and north. And so thankfully for us, that's happening. Now it is stalling out right over the Grand Bahama Island area here and pounding the area with those intense major hurricane winds. Now here's the latest forecast track as of 5 a.m. You can see still forecast to remain just offshore, but any deviation from this to the left would be worse with the impacts for coastal areas in southeast Florida. Now as we go through the day on say Tuesday into Wednesday, it'll be approaching the Cape just offshore north of Fort Pierce as a Category 4, potentially weakening into a Category 3 hurricane, though a lot of warm, deep water out there of the Gulf Stream, of course. Then up to Jacksonville's latitude by about Wednesday. During the day, you can see this is the 2 a.m. point for potential forecast there. And then it'll be about, say, 60 to 80 miles offshore. There has been a slight shift east with the 5 a.m. advisory, so every mile is important, and if we can get it even farther to the east, that would be great. That's still going to be a beating at the beaches there with the potential storm surge and also the increased waves of 15 to 20 plus feet, maybe even higher than that, breaking just offshore on the sandbars. But you can see then off to, say, the Carolinas by Thursday night into Friday, uncomfortably close, maybe even a landfall there in the outer banks of North Carolina. Coastal communities, local impacts, 40 to 60 mile per hour winds, waves 15 to 20 feet, storm surge 4 to 6 feet, and then you add the waves on top of that, that wave run up can get past the dunes. And so that's one of the things we're watching and concerned about is the flooding potential with this. Again, depending on how close Dorian actually gets to our immediate coastline. Rainfall along the immediate coast, especially along and east of the intercoastal, 6 to 8 inches plus. About I-95, that'll be less with those amounts due to the position of Dorian. Wind is 10 to 20 miles per hour for the inland communities, gusts up to 30 plus, and rainfall 1 to 2 inches with river and creek flooding. We'll be watching the St. Johns River, especially where it bends and the north and northwestward facing creeks. If you live along those, that's where we could see some storm surge depending on how much wind we get blowing down the St. Johns River. 15 to 20 plus mile per hour winds for the Georgia inland communities with 1 to 4 inches of rain with a few heavy rain bands coming in and giving you some rain. So now let's go to our rip current forecast with meteorologist Maritza Ross.
That's correct. Elevated swells have already begun because of Hurricane Dorian. So today we have a high risk of rip currents with those northeast winds at about 15 to 20 knots. The surf right around 5 to 8 feet. And on Tuesday, it just increases, especially as Hurricane Dorian gets a little bit closer to our coastline. And of course, this forecast is still changing because, you know, we're still dependent on where this system is going to lie. But nonetheless, very high rip current risk through Wednesday and even into Thursday, as we are expecting west winds at about 10 to 20 knots, surf right around 2 to 4 feet. But bringing it back to our local conditions, First Alert Doppler HD, just some light spotty showers that are moving in from the coast. And today we can expect highs in the upper 80s across our area.
Yeah, you can see the Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast with, of course, your weekend always in view. Still a good day to storm prep today as evacuations begin here in northeast Florida at the coastline. Upper 80s to near 90 for Tuesday. The tropical storm force winds increasing through the day Tuesday morning from south to north, especially for our coastal communities through the day on Tuesday, especially by Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Mid 80s there, and it will be mainly dry along I-75. And then we heat up after Dorian Thursday, the mid 90s and a lot of sunshine. A few showers and thunderstorms return for next weekend. You can always get this forecast any time of the day and download the free Action News Jax First Alert weather app and get instant severe weather alerts there as well. And join Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish and Corey Sima tonight at 5.